Okay, I'm Bernie. Welcome back, and I gotta. Okay. What are we talking? We're talking what? Pizza? Pizza here? So, yeah, a lot of people have the wrong idea about pizza. They have absolutely no clue of what is going on. And so for the next 15 minutes or so, I will be informing you about pizza, what's good about it, what's bad about it, what to look for, what not to get, the greatest pizzas I ever had in my whole life, and what you should know about pizza. And after this video, you'll approach pizza completely differently. One moment. Okay, so most people, excuse me, most people go out, they get a pizza, they eat the pizza, they enjoy the pizza, and then they're done. Completely wrong. Actually, not completely wrong. Fairly right. That's what you want to do. You want to eat the pizza, enjoy the pizza, and have fun. But let me just, on this video, I consult notes because I wanted to get a lot of it in. So let me just, part of me while I look at this. I'm not going to bore you with just looking at this. Yes, right. Okay. Okay. So, my pizza, I'm from New York, which you might not have known from my accent. You know, draw, talk, shit like that. Anyhow, the first pizza I ever remember myself having was at a place called the Pizza Den in Forest Hills, New York. And I remember the door. I was 4 years old. 4 years old. And I remember the door was very bizarre because you walked in and you had to sort of turn diagonally and then you turned back to get into the actual place. And so they had regular pizza. It was good. It was thin, it tasted nice, and that was it. Wasn't the greatest, wasn't the most incredible, but here I am at 4 eating pizza. Alright, fine. But watch this. Yes. At the age of right around 12, an incident happened. An incident happened that was both horrible and awakening at the same time. In other words, it was a lesson, if you will. What the hell happened? When I was roughly 12, I went to a birthday party at a bowling alley. And everyone, I still remember this.
You've got mail.
Everyone sat down very close to one another, I think in bench-type seats. And everyone was squished, a bunch of kids. And then the mother took a pizza pie in a box and placed it down on the table. The box was opened, and people grabbed a slice and took it and ate it. You might say, well, what are you getting at? This is very boring. I'm bored. Here's what happened. I took the slice, I put it in my mouth, and my life would never have been the same after that. What happened? I burned my mouth. The pizza was boiling hot, the cheese was runny, it was just made, and I had to take skin off of my roof of my mouth, my tongue. It was horrible, disgusting, and I vowed at that moment forward never to have hot food again. That it was inhumane, it was disgusting. Worse yet was, not only did you have to wait weeks for your skin to grow back, but the taste buds were taken off. And you can't taste anything when it's very, very hot. It's impossible to taste all the flavors. So the bad news was it burned the shit out of me, and I hated that experience. But the good news is, from there forth, I learned to have food at different types of temperatures, mainly Actually, that's wrong. I learned how to have food at warm temperatures. Almost everything I eat, I like it warm. Not cold, definitely not hot, but warm. And I find it's the greatest like that. I'll give you a few examples. Coffee, okay? Why don't you have yourself poured a cup of coffee that's scalding? Is it scalding or scalding? Oh, fuck off. Anyhow, why don't you pour yourself a cup of coffee that's really hot and go and drink it? First of all, you can't taste shit, okay? Second of all, it sucks. But watch this. Have a cup of coffee in a fat cup. I say a fat cup because it matters. It matters. The thinner the cup, the worse the flavor for coffee. Have it in a big, short, squat, fat cup and have the coffee cool off. Not too cold, but almost cold. You could taste every nuance of the coffee. It's amazing. It's incredible. And so that's a temperature thing. And I bring it up because as it goes on, I'm going to talk to you about pizza temperature. Pizza temperature. And how pizza should be served almost cool, not quite. It should be warm, but nothing more than warm, because you could taste all the different temperatures. Now, let me talk now about sauce. Let me talk now about sauce. For those of you possibly familiar with stereo equipment, one moment. Oh, that's good. One moment. I apologize. Okay, I think I'm ready. For those of you familiar with really good stereo equipment, you will find that the amplifier plays a part, the turntable plays a part, but the speakers play the biggest part, for they're the personality. They're the front man of the band. They're the it of it, if you will. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Sauce. Sauce on pizza. And this whole video is going to be about pizza, so let me get back to pizza. The sauce on pizza are the speakers of the stereo, okay? You could have incredible crust, you could have interesting cheese, you could have all sorts of thicknesses and molecules that have developed, and the way that you do it, and the brick oven, and the... Fine, that's fine. Might I say it all sort of means shit if you don't have killer sauce. So that's it. I wanted to say the sauce is, with pizza, the ultimate thing. And if your sauce is off, if your sauce is too sweet or too thin or weird, the pizza is just immediately voided out as shit. Go home and just forget about it, because we're done, okay? Don't want to know about your pizza. So your sauce has to be incredible. You have to lead with your sauce. Your sauce has to be so good that that's the magic ingredient in your pizza, okay? We're talking about, wow, this is incredible pizza. Really? What makes it incredible? Well, the sauce. I wanted to get that out because people don't understand that. Okay, so what happened was I'm going to get into different places now that I either recommend or you should at least check out. So, as my life went on with pizza, I found that my pizza was normal. I had very normal pizza. It was a triangle, it was fairly thin, and it tasted okay, pretty good, not bad, not bad. But then something happened in the year 1974 to change all of that. What the hell happened? A place opened up in Hicksville, Long Island, New York, which, you know, I was from near there. Anyhow, This place was called Ramo's, and it's still there, I believe. And they introduced pizza that was thicker, but it wasn't Sicilian, wasn't deep dish. It was the triangle pizza, but it was larger, it was heavier, it was bigger, and it tasted unreal. And they did something different. Normally when I got pizza, it was the triangle, and at the very end, there was sauce, right before the crust. So you would have the cheese, sauce, right before the crust, the crust. Ramos said, no, we're not doing that. Ramos said, we're going to have surprise sauce. You're going to look at the pizza, you're not going to see sauce. But when you bite into it, every bite's going to have sauce, because underneath the cheese, that's where we're going to put the sauce. And so it's pretty incredible. So it had this sort of like lively flavor to it, and big and heavy. Anyhow, so that was an interesting sort of step up into pizza, and it started raising everyone's like, whoa, did you try that? Stuff like that. Alright, now, back in the early 1980s, I went with my old friend Doug into the city, and we tried something called Ray's Pizza. Now here's something weird. There are something like 6 Ray pizzas. No one knows who's the first. And I don't know which one I went to. I'm not familiar with the city. I lived in New York, not the city, for 46 years. I went into New York City about maybe 45 times. So I'm not what you would call an expert on where things were. But this particular Ray's, wherever the hell that was, it was in the Village, this pizza, the first time you had it was, oh, whoa, ah. It was different. It was different because it led with the cheese. The sauce was like, oh, the sauce, oh no, forget the sauce. Now, for me, a sauce nut, the first thing you think of, oh, Bernie's not going to like that. And in a sense, I was a little just turned off from it. But the cheese was so good, and it was so there and present in a nice way, that the first time you had it was like, wow, this is incredible. But after the second time, third time I had it, I was getting more like, screw this, it's cheese. And I know this sounds crazy, I'm not a cheese person. I do like it here and there, but in general, no. The other thing about Ray's that was out of this world, I mean really, really nuts, is that you would walk in and there would be 100 people online, and within 30 seconds you would be ordering a pizza. How do they do this? They'd say, a slice and a Coke. Second later you'd have a slice and a Coke. It was the most craziest thing. Talk about having their operation running amazing. So that was Ray's. Oh, this is interesting. Let me give you a year, if I might, because I like going back and saying, oh yeah, around this year. Okay, so I'm going to say roughly around 1992, 1993 or 4, one of the newspapers in New York decided, okay, this is it, screw you, we are going to find the greatest pizza in all of New York. True story. And they had a guy, or several people, go around to every pizza place in New York, period. We're not talking about New York City, we're talking about everywhere in New York. From, like, you know, where Niagara Falls starts down to Staten Island, and missing nothing. And so they went around and they tried every pizza. And at the end, the place that won was 10 or 15 minutes from my house. And it was in the paper that this was the greatest pizza place in all of New York. And so I went there, and the slice that I had, I remember distinctly, was in the car with my wife, was one of the most incredible pizza slices I've ever had in my life. There were 2 reasons that made it the greatest. One was the freshness. Now for me, I went, what? The freshness? Screw you. But it was true. Everything that they used tastes like they just picked it. It was wild. It tasted so fresh. It was amazing. Not fresh in the way that I hate, like, oh, look at that, it's fresh pizza. Go ahead, burn yourself. No, not that way. Just like the ingredients. It was so fresh you could just go, wow. The second reason was the tomatoes, the sauce. What they did, I'm not kidding, was they, instead of taking sauce and throwing it on the pizza and rolling it, and it was like liquidy and like everyone else, no. They took something like fresh tomatoes from a garden or something, and they actually just put it on the pizza. I think it was like giant chunks. And when you bit into it, you were like, I just can't believe this. After that, I went there. The pizza wasn't quite as good, and what shocked me is on the wall they had the article "Greatest Pizza in New York," but then they got rid of it. And I asked them, I said, "How come you got rid of it?" And they were like a teenager that were, "Oh, I don't know." And I said to myself, "You're crazy. You won the greatest pizza in all of New York. The article wasn't there anymore." I asked them why. They go, "I don't know." And the place eventually went out of business. So, but that was an interesting slice. Ah, yes. Yes. Ah! Okay, but if you just, I hate to do this, but please, pardon me. There's a town on Long Island called Massapequa, which is where Alec Baldwin, Jerry Seinfeld is from. It's on the South Shore of Long Island. I'm only bringing it up because there's a road called Merrick Avenue. And I distinctly remember driving there one time and noticing that there were more pizza places there than any place I've ever saw in my life. Every block, every corner had a pizza place. It was incredible. And so they referred to it on Long Island, Massa Pizza, rather than Massapequa. I just wanted to get that out. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. So I had a friend on Long Island named Danny, and we used to go out and have pizza and have a few laughs, whatever. One day, we go to this pizza place, and it's off the beaten path. We were never there before. It looked like an average pizza place at best. It was very empty that day, I recall. And so we ordered a slice of pizza each, and possibly with extra sauce on top. I believe so. And so we sit down, and Danny was the first to bite into the pizza. And so he bites into his pizza, and I see his eyes go like this. They bugged out. And so my first thought was, oh, he's obnoxious. What is this kid doing? What does he want? So I got upset. I said, what? What's going on? And so he just said, taste the sauce. That's it. Nothing more. He might not even said the word taste. His eyes went like this, and he said, the sauce. And so now I was curious, and I go to taste it, and let me tell you, this was God. I don't even remember what the hell the sauce tasted like. All I know it was the greatest Italian sauce that anyone has ever had. It was incredible. It was this bursting with flavor, incredible notes of sauce. And so that the pizza now became this thing that was irrelevant. It was a delivery system for the sauce. It was a delivery system for the sauce. You know what I mean? In other words, it was almost like going to a relative's house or someone's house that you can't stand, but you know the food's going to be the greatest ever. And so you just suck it up, you know? You're going to see Aunt Dottie. We're going to go. I know you can't stand her, but she is making her knishes. Oh, well, fuck that. Then we better go. You know what I mean? So this sauce was so incredible. And Danny and I referred to it as mistake sauce. What the hell do I mean by that? The sauce was so